Peace, peace. All my brothers and sisters worldwide. My name is Anthony Calori. This is the Preciate You podcast, episode number 5. It is August 10th, 2022, and I hope today is serving you well. And peace, peace, peace. I hope everything is cool with you. Got to go to work later on this evening, so busting down this podcast and taking another step toward the future and forward. So I'm just grateful to be here, and it's as simple as that. Was digging through some old emails and checking out some rough drafts and things I would send people when I barely first started learning how to play piano at all. And holy shit, that stuff is terrible. It blows my mind how confident I was and can remember um, like sharing shit with people thinking that it was something when in all actuality it was absolutely terrible. And so um but I see what I had in mind, and I'm able to kind of look back at that time and see what I was trying to do. And for someone who doesn't know what he's doing, I just find myself kind of comically impressed. You know what I mean? It's just kind of comedic. My how bold I was to record that shit and send to people. Um, but yeah. Anyway, I was looking for this thing I wrote some years ago. I want to say 5 or 6 years ago, and it was thought I had a thought I had about Stevie Wonder, and I asked myself, would uh would the average person, you know, without any disability, would they trade their life for Stevie Wonder's? Would they be blind and have all the things that, it seems like Stevie Wonder has the incredible talent and, fame. He's beloved by everyone, and, I'm sure his family's taken care of, and he's, been blessed with incredible gifts and, but, cannot see. And so I was just thinking to myself, with and with that, not just would you trade it, but with all the things that you see in the world every day, from in real life, crime and homelessness and just people being shitty and stuff like that. And then the stuff you see on the internet, which is where the real, disgusting, this disgusting side of human nature can be found, um, because it's almost like a highlight reel of just people behaving badly, I guess, if that's what you're into. Would you trade that as well? I mean, imagine if you knew about all of these things, but you never saw them. People being hungry and stuff like that. And so I wrote this really long thing that wasn't even a poem. As I'm going through it right now, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, and it was around the time that I was injured. I had some kind of hip problem going on that was really disabling me. I mean, I just could not do anything, and yeah. But anyways, so I was in my bedroom going crazy, practicing and writing ideas, and just sounding like a fucking madman. And so I want to share it with you guys, and I hope you can bear with me. I mean, it's pretty long, um, and I haven't read it for years, until this moment, and I didn't take the time to read it before starting this podcast either. So just bear with me. So I have an idea of what the fuck I'm talking about, but yeah, just bear with me, because when I go back to old shit, I find myself, I don't know. Sometimes I can't stand what I write, but with this, it was something that just flowed through me. I remember just writing it, just letting it come out and writing it, and didn't worry about rhyming or anything like that or being super witty. It was just something that I kind of let flow through me, and yeah. Anyway, it's just a piece that I've been holding on to for a long time. That eventually I'll. I mean, what the fuck am I talking about? I'm not gonna do anything with this. I'm just sharing it with you right now. So, um, and it starts if God said, and then it has kind of like the drawing a blank of what those called, but it's a, if God said, and then it's like in quotations. So, God forgive me. I'm not this is all of me, yeah, I'm just fucking around. But if God said, I have heard your prayers. You've prayed countless times for there to be love between your family. You've prayed for a woman of internal and external beauty to bear your children and instill love in them for years to come. You've wished that I would remove all illness, all struggle, all pain of past and present from those you love the most and replace it with care, good health, communication, love, and wealth. You've called my name, pleading to give your family all it is they need to not just love each other, not just to love you, but to love themselves as you love them. And your love is great, I know. During your greatest trials, you prayed that I would change the conditions of the road to be traveled and change the conditions of the weather on such days. You prayed and prayed, and some angels would even say you begged. I have heard every prayer, and when I hear such speak from angels, I hush them. I have heard your every prayer, not once have I neglected you. Though it seems I have yet to suffice all it is that you wish, and for this I am sorry. I planned a life of love for you long before you were born. I planned perfect health for them long before you understood pain and suffering. I planned for your mother and father to love each other and for your brothers to care for one another, for your sisters to guide your sons, and for there to be generation after generation of loving families that will all look just like each other. This was my plan, though it seems I've yet to fulfill it entirely. For this, your God is embarrassed and must redeem the trust of its creation. All of your prayers will be answered, for I am completely ashamed. When morning comes, it will be the day you are born. Your mother will have proudly given birth to a son by a father who couldn't possibly love you anymore, holding you in his hands, touching all of your fingers and toes, weeping in joy and gratitude that he may be so blessed to love such a beautiful baby boy while raising him into a man greater than himself. From the moment you are born to your dying day, your heart will be full with the togetherness and the assured love that you have prayed for all of these years. For all of these years that I am reluctant to admit have yet to fulfill for you. Tomorrow, when you are reborn, you will never witness a tragedy, never see a cloud in the sky. The sun will shine every day when it rains, it will seem as if the sun had cried warm tears of joy. Come the end of your life, love is how the people of this world will remember you. You will be a teacher of the very thing I've yet to surround you with, but come morning, you will be reborn, and love is all that you'll ever know. In this life and the next and the next and the next, though till now you've seen nothing but angst and misery, hunger and dysfunction. My creation, please forgive me and believe in your God when I say this was not my intention. I did not know this was going to happen. Nevertheless, your God is a mighty and gracious God, and I shall correct my own doing come morning. You will be reborn never to witness a single tragedy. You will have your mother's and father's love every second of your life. Not a day you will go hungry, and misery will be not your company. Come morning, you will live the first day of your very long life, and to prove my sincerity, this time I will grant you every talent you never had, and with these talents, strangers of all nations will follow your every word without contemplation. My son, I found my mistake, and come morning, a new will be done, correcting my mishappening. For your God is a loving God, and I must prove it to you if you do not believe. Come morning, all your prayers will be answered. A home of love, a family of love, a life of love, great health and wealth, togetherness, communication, a definiteness of your purpose and the path on which it lies. It will be all as I originally intended, for I cannot afford to lose the trust of my creation. I cannot risk to lose your faith anymore. Please, I've heard your every word, the tragedy, the pain, the anger, the disdain. You've deserved none of these things, and I cannot risk putting you through further circumstances, for I'm afraid I will lose your faith completely. Your God has become insecure, so come morning, you will never see a day where your mother isn't happy or healthy. Not a single misfortune, no one hungry, poor, or sick, just love, constant, consistent love. And your Father will raise you greater than he, and you'll have all you should have. Celebrations will come plenty, and every passion will come easy. I'll make sure that you are adored by any who is fortunate and so blessed to have feasted their eyes upon you. So come morning, you will be blind, my son, and I will have erased your memories of pain, dysfunction, and misery, death, and hate will no longer hold a color or shape in your memory or imagination. This was not my intention when I created you. Forgive me as I remove this curse of vision from you. This world has become sick, my son, and I loathe to admit that I am unable to find its cure on my own. My plan for you was selfish, and this was not my intention. Forgive your God, as this burden is not yours, it is mine. Come morning, you will have all you should have. Come morning, you shall be free. Yeah, so I don't even know if I have enough time right now to process that really. But yeah, some shit that I wrote 5 or 6 years ago. Can't really remember, but I think it was 2016, and the end of 2016, somewhere around there. And yeah, so that's that. I want to move on from that. Yeah, so doing this podcast has been a trip. Every day I struggle with getting up to the mic and putting the headphones on and convincing myself that I have something to say that's worthwhile. And so, you know, I know the only way to get through that is to get through that. And so that's why you're hearing my voice now. I'm a lot less afraid than I was before of everything. I'm a lot less afraid. Doesn't mean I'm not afraid, but I'm a lot less afraid. And been doing a lot of inside work, talking to April a lot about, because she checks in with me every day. And sometimes I don't want to answer, because I don't feel like being, self-analyzing or taking inventory when I don't feel like it or I'm not comfortable. And, I do my best to not be a selfish asshole and open up a little bit and take that time to not ignore that and check in with myself. And, I was talking to her earlier today and I was just saying how I'm talking to myself, not, with a less critical voice lately. And instead of looking back on regrets or situations I wish I could have changed, or if I have a negative feeling about a relationship that I have with someone or how the relationship is now, I catch my brain trying to put me in the right somehow. And I also catch my brain trying to make me feel like everyone's disappointed in me. And I'm just being real hard on that voice. And every time it says something negative, I try to combat it with something positive. A few things that I'm grateful for. And it's been working. It's not easy. And yeah. So I'm realizing that there's nobody against me and nobody's disappointed in me. And I'm not the bad guy. And yeah. And that's okay to stand firm on your beliefs and on your 2 feet, and you don't need to overthink anything. As long as I'm being kind to as many people as I can be, and I'm not going out of my way to be an asshole and all that type of stuff, and I'm putting in the work and just taking care of shit at home, that's fine. That's fine. All the other stuff I'm slowly getting to and allowing myself, like I said before, in past episodes, taking things off of my plate that are occupying space that aren't allowing me to think about the things clearly that I need to think about. And so, yeah, so doing the podcast is a good thing. I think it's a good thing for myself, but I think it's a good thing for other people as well because you're not alone in battling through fear and anxiety and all that stuff. So I'm reminding myself that uh, am I being selfish by putting my putting my fear before speaking and sharing and possibly helping somebody get through a situation that they're going through that they may feel no one can relate to, or maybe they're afraid to I don't know, either share a passion or something that's on their mind in general, but you know just are afraid to, don't know how to. And a lot of times you just gotta fucking do it. You just gotta say it. And yeah, just lean into that. Lean into your gut. Lean into the things that you say are non-negotiable, like practice, like making phone calls to people, like exercise, just working on the things that you said you were gonna work on, and not breaking it just because somebody's you're celebrating fucking it's National Cat Day or something, so you're not gonna fucking work out, like whatever it is. It's just lean into that, lean into your gut, lean in, befriend the voice inside of you that wants to see you fucking win and tells you that you're beautiful and tells you that you're funny and tells you that you're worthwhile. It tells you to be bold, and who gives a fuck, Who gives a fuck, because you don't just mean well, but you do well. You know, you do right by people. You're not just right. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm not perfect by any means. I'm not gonna say it, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. And yeah, I'm planning a few things. Planning a private party at the crib that I want to get some, how do you say it? Some great minds together from this beautiful city of North Las Vegas, and just show some appreciation to them, and just combined our spirits, our minds, our goals, and see how we can do right by the community, because that's what I'm interested in doing. Um, that's what I'm interested in doing. I see the kids are going back to school, which is a beautiful thing. And we'll be passing out flyers to the kids at school regarding things that we have going on in the community, as well as making them aware of the podcast so they can stay informed about what's going on in the community. And also linking up with community, what do you call it? Community center, I don't know what you call it, activity supervisors and things like that. Program managers, yes. Community center program managers, and seeing how we can get together and do something for these kids out here in Las Vegas, because Lord knows they don't give a fuck about school. Cash is king. They know that. Everybody knows that. A lot of the older generation kind of gave up on them because they wanted to relive their youth. And I know for sure that, just the old way of doing things doesn't really apply to the new way of doing things. And so finding ways to incentivize these youth to go to school, graduate, and want to pursue a higher education. Especially if shit musicians can get the same deal as the sports, the college sports athletes, even though it's not even the same fucking ballpark how much money they make. It still can be worthwhile if they can figure out how, if the college is making money off of your performance, just like you can get a job at the college, just like you can get a job at the college. You should be paid if they're selling tickets and making money. Period. Because a lot of kids go and get their degree and they change their mind, and they should have the right to change their mind, and they should have the right to get whatever degree they want, try to pursue it, not like it, but still not 100% rely on it while they're pursuing their education. I'm not saying it's that's what the university is for. It's to give as much experience and resources as possible to these youth while they're pursuing their education. And money is the bridge. Money is the bridge. If money doesn't make you successful, it definitely pays the toll to get you there. Same thing with having fun and all that other shit. It doesn't buy you happiness, but it sure as fuck pays the toll. And so, let these young adults earn. Let these young adults earn. And anyways, I know I'm going off in a tangent, but yeah, that's what we're trying to do. And we're not trying to do it, we're doing it. And yeah, you stay tuned. You'll be seeing some videos of things we're doing for the homeless. And yeah. And yeah, if you have any used musical instruments you want to donate, email preciateyoupodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, we'll be happy to find some kids to pass those out to. And so, yeah, linking up with the schools, linking up with the program managers and other community leaders out here, trying to get these kids to box, trying to get them to play some basketball, wrestle, whatever. Like I said, if they're selling tickets and you out there competing, you should get something, fucking per diem or something. But yeah. Yeah, my girl's parents finally moved in. That shit's dope. Helped them unload. Did it like it was nothing. They were surprised because they've only moved like twice since they've been alive. And yeah, and I've moved, with no exaggeration, 40 times in my life. So it's nothing to a West Coast boss, and it's always a good workout. You just don't do shit all day and then unload a truck, and it's fun. Yeah, but every time I every time I tune in to the news, I just feel like I'm disappointing them by not being, shitting my pants by the headlines. And it's not a cynical reaction I have to the news, because obviously, we're all gonna die. But and then there's nothing wrong with that. But after a while, you just kind of get tired of being told how horrible people are, especially when you actually go outside and deal with people on a regular basis. And you turn into the news, and you would have swore that you should have been stabbed, robbed, and all that type of shit. Would have seen 100 protests and buildings on fire and all that type of shit. But that's just not what's going on in the real world. And I say this to everybody: if you shop at the 99-cent store, you know what the fuck I'm talking about, because everybody's in there. There's every kind of person in there. When you're in that long ass line because the whole staff just quit yesterday or 2 days ago, and there's only that one 65-year-old lady working the whole fucking store, and there's 20 people in line, and it's like the fucking United Nations in that bitch, man. Everybody looks different. There's kids everywhere. Everyone's got their kids in there. We're all trying to shop and make it through the next fucking day, the next couple days, so when we get paid, we can go to the real store and get real groceries. But we're all under the understanding that we're in this shit together. You know what I'm saying? You don't see people beefing over stupid shit, bringing up political bullshit or social bullshit while they're shopping at the 99-cent store, man. We're all just trying to make it. We're all just trying to make it. And you can't tell me otherwise. Only if you're on your phone all the time, watching the news all the time, could you think that shit is all divided and fucked up. And people you work with aren't the world either. You know, your job and your phone is not the world. You know what I'm saying? So I really just can't fuck with any of the news, man. I don't like that. Whether one side is wrong or not, that there feels like there's some kind of victory on one end or the other. It's like, what the fuck? I thought this shit. I thought everybody wanted the people to win. I thought everybody wanted people to win. But just because you got a stupid ass, pin, or you voted for this person or that person, that, you know what I mean? That some people are on the right side of history and some people are on the wrong. And I just I couldn't disagree more with anybody. If you are broke, if you've ever been broke, if your family's ever been broke, there's just no time to really think about this type of shit. All you're thinking about is, man, this shit fucking sucks. I fucking hate being poor, man. I hate this shit. I hate not feeling safe and all that stuff. You're not, and you're not worried about the details. You just want it to stop, And an example I heard was being poor is a lot like having a really bad toothache, or a tooth, like an infection or something like that. When that motherfucker is throbbing and hurting like that, all you want it to do is stop. You're not thinking about anything else. You just want that shit to stop. You just want to be comfortable. And anytime you're not drunk or high or using some kind of escapism, to numb that pain, you just want it to stop one way or another. I mean, in constant agony, whether it's at your job or, you staying on someone's fucking couch or whatever the fuck it is, it's just. And so when I hear people talk about the news and they talk about social issues and all that type of shit, I'm like, man, you motherfuckers have never been broke a day in your life. Because we get along down here. The people do. I'm not saying that the judicial system and poor people get along, but these motherfuckers want to take the side of the judicial system and the side of the poor people at the same time, and it just doesn't work that way. You want to make decisions for people that you don't know, that you've never talked to, who as individuals have very specific problems. Not everybody has the same problems. And another issue I have with all that shit is you just pick a group of people and then just generalize the fucking shit out of them. When it's like, dude, have you ever, like I said, does it make you feel good to feel bad for people and to just generalize motherfuckers as people who just ain't got a chance? Because I don't see people like that. If you got a fucking, if you got desire, man, if you got fucking desire, you can do it. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. If you got desire and the will, you want to change. You're tired of how shit is going on in your family. You're tired of how you are behaving. and you want that shit to change, and you want to lead your people out of fucking poverty, out of these goddamn trauma parties that we throw at every fucking birthday party, at every barbecue. You know, you can do it. I don't give a fuck about what. I don't give a fuck about anything. You know, one thing you'll never hear from me is that, yeah, you're behind the 8 ball. Sorry about that. You ain't never gonna hear that shit from me. You got a beating heart, desire, determination, some fucking discipline. You want to be a good person, a man, a good woman, a great wife, a great mother, and good communication with your people. You want to get rich, invest in some real estate, some crypto, some stock. You want to build a brand. You want to come up with your own fucking seasoning or juice, your own podcast. You could fucking do it. You could do it, man. And so fuck the news. And fuck these people who have the goddamn audacity to just talk about other human beings without even knowing them. I've heard it. It's been done to me. People assuming things about me, characterizing me as someone who's by nature in the wrong. And I don't give a fuck about that. I don't play that game. That's not money talk. That's not success talk. That's waste your fucking time. Become a cynic. Become a nihilistic, fucking obnoxious motherfucker. We all have a purpose. You have a purpose. I have a purpose. Anything outside of that is bullshit. What you want it to be, that's up to you. But just because you look a certain way, or believe in a certain thing, or come from a certain place, or someone told you what you were and what you can be and what you can't be, it's all up to you. It's all up to you. And it's not easy to take accountability. It's not easy to take responsibility of your own destiny. It's easier to chalk it up to the game and said, oh, well, this happened to me. So, you know, it's only right that I can't get right. Oh, well, you know, they say statistically that people like me, so, you know, chalk it up to the game. It is what it is. I'm not putting this liquor down. I don't need self-control. Nobody loved me. Why should I love myself? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. It's the individual, man. It's you. And you got it. You got it. How could you be of service to other people? How could you be useful to other people? We're all interesting. And that's the secret to this motherfucker. You don't need to convince the world that you're interesting. You need to convince the world that it is interesting. And not because there's bombs exploding and people are hungry, but because we're striving for peace in the midst of that. We're putting food and water in people's bellies in the midst of that. And isn't it crazy that with all this fucking shit going on, all this negativity, all this quote unquote divided bullshit that they're talking about, that there's still people out there saying, I don't believe it. I don't think we're as divided as they say. I think we agree on most things. I think we all want to have good health in our family and to be successful and not to see the next man struggle. Not to see these kids without parents and these people in the street. You know what I'm saying? I think we can all agree on that, and we don't need to. That's we all feel that. Have we conditioned to act like we do? It's a different story. But I think we can all agree that the fight has been fought, and we can continue to have these conversations and continue to encourage each other. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You're gonna get this encouragement, man. You're gonna get this love. You're gonna get this motherfucking this push. You're gonna get this push. Don't let them trick you into thinking that you're behind the eight ball, because it's not true. It's not true at all. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap this up. Fuck what they say. Nobody can stop you. Ain't shit stopping you. Know that you're loved, that you're appreciated, that what you have to say is worthwhile, that what you want to do is worthwhile, and that you can be of great service to yourself and people around you. Just gotta believe that shit. Act like it. And I'm gonna do my best not to fuck it all up myself. And I'm gonna do the same. Alright? Peace.